Today in our in-person worship service, we're singing some carols. And today's meditation, today's homily is really just a brief word that gets inserted into that liturgy, into that order of service. But I trust God will speak to us through it. Listen to some verses from John chapter 10. So again Jesus said to them, "Very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and bandits, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters by me will be saved, and will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." Don't underestimate these words. Listen, in this Christmas season, listen. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. The Russian novelist Dostoevsky tells the story of being sentenced to death by the Russian Tsar, because Dostoevsky was critical of the Tsar. But the Russian leader had this cruel trick he liked to play on those who were on death row. Sometimes he would play this trick on those who were in death row. On those days, he would have the prisoners blindfolded and led out to face the firing squad. But instead of live ammunition, the guns were loaded with blanks. So as the prisoners stood waiting for death, they would then eventually hear the countdown and the sudden gunshots. But in the confusion and trauma of it all, they were unsure whether they were alive or dead, because they heard the shots and then they weren't sure if anything had happened. Dostoevsky says that on the day he was due to die, that everything that morning mattered to him. He savored his last meal. He paid attention to the warmth of the sun on his skin as he walked towards the firing squad. He studied the faces of everyone he saw that day. And every breath he took, he knew was one of his last. And it was a gift. On the day he was due to die, all of his senses, he said, were heightened in many ways. He had never been more alive than the day he was due to be executed. So then when they took his blindfold off and he knew for sure that he had not died, he said the moment of that blindfold coming off, that everything for him changed in that moment. He found himself so deeply grateful for everything in life. In fact, he was even grateful for people that he had once hated. He was in that moment fully alive. And Dostoevsky says it was this mock execution which equipped him to become the celebrated novelist that he came to be known to be. And when you think about it, it seems so simple, really. Just so simple. All we want to do is to live. Just to live. But quite obviously, quite apparently, it's not as simple as it seems. Yet this is what we all long for. This is what all of us want. All we want is just to live. You can pick a pursuit: politics, recreation, friendship, family, religion, whatever it is. Behind it all is the very basic human longing just to be alive, and if possible to be alive well. But there's something, despite that, there's something very peculiar about us as a species. We have a penchant for taking goodness and then corrupting it. You know the song, we paved paradise and put up a parking lot. We took sex and we made it pornography. We took food and we turned it into McDonald's. And we took religion and we killed people with it. We used fear and power over the years and decades and centuries. We have used fear and power and shame and obligation. We have manipulated vulnerable people with our promises of heaven. We've co-opted God to serve on our committees and on our groups so we could get God to say what we needed him to say on our behalf. We took religion and we killed people with it. And in fact, it's all that kind of stuff that Jesus is in fact addressing in John chapter 10. I'm not making this stuff up. Because in John chapter 9, the religious people had been so incredibly unkind to a blind man and to his family. And so in John 10, the bit that we were reading today, Jesus is saying, that's not my way. There are people who do that kind of thing in this world, but they are the ones who steal and kill and destroy life. Steal life, kill life, destroy life. And what Jesus is, if you like, arguing for in this passage in chapter 10 and the bit we read, is he's saying, that's not my way. When that happens, that's not me. That's not my way. Jesus says, I came for one reason, to give you life. And not just life, not that there's anything wrong with life, but not just life, but life, vibrant life, full life, abundant life. So can I say to us all today, if our religion is teaching us to hate anyone, we're doing it wrong. If our religion takes away our joy, we're doing it wrong. If our religion hangs like a noose around our neck, we're doing it wrong. If our religion makes us selfish, inward looking, we're doing it wrong. If our religion makes us think that somehow we're better than anyone else, people of other faiths, anyone else, we're doing it wrong. If our religion makes us think we're in and someone else is out, we're doing it wrong. If our religion leaves us feeling guilty and burdened and weary, we're doing it wrong. So once more, for the people at the back, Jesus said, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly.